Hello and welcome to Cross Gen Sisters. I'm Keisha, the older sister.
Hey y'all, I'm Chantal, the younger sister. Hey sis.
Hi, sister. How are you? Well, it is Friday morning. We are recording early, trying something new. But let's just get right into it because it's been a month since we last recorded and a lot has happened. Thanksgiving, dogs went missing, CEOs got capped. What do we want to dig in?
Mogul superstar rappers getting accused of assault. It's crazy out here. Where do we begin? Let's start with the past holiday. How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving itself was great. Wonderful food. Our sister, what are we calling her? Mary? Mary Jane?
Mary J. Blige.
Moesha.
Moesha.
Moesha threw down in the kitchen.
Sure did.
It was a feast. Just all the wonderful soul food you could ask for. She's a gem. We even danced after dinner like it was a Black family holiday movie. Some of us were really getting into it, like they had like a choreographed dance going on in their head. And talk about you.
I just giving people what they need. Okay, just giving a little one two step. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was so impressive.
Thank you.
So the day after Thanksgiving, my beloved dog Ollie went missing.
He did.
The long and the short of it is because it was a long ordeal, even though it wasn't. He was missing in Houston because that's where we were for Thanksgiving. He ran away from the Airbnb where we were staying, and it was devastating. I went through all the emotions that you can imagine. Yeah, he got spooked. He was trying to chase after me, and he didn't know where he was. And then I didn't know where he was. And I'm grateful to the wonderful family who found him and saw our digital flyer and called us. And it was a great reunion.
And not just any family, they were having a party. Like your little one was at a party. Very on brand for him.
It was a literal fiesta because it was a large Hispanic family and they had decorations. They were out in the yard, seated in a circle at lawn chairs, and he's underneath this like young girl. Of course he is. He loves women. And they were so kind and so sweet when we actually like reunited. So I wish nothing but the best for them. And it was a 30-hour ordeal altogether, but in that time we got scammed. Thankfully, nothing more than $200, but I hope those people get the terrible karma that they deserve.
Yes.
And there were like 3 other attempts to scam because apparently there is just a market of people who go out and prey on people who are desperate and really want to find their beloved pets. And
Shame on those people. Like I did not know that there was a market for people who literally prey on people. And it's kind of like we were talking about how I cannot imagine losing an actual human child.
Yeah.
People who do like ransoms and stuff like that, not knowing where your child is, I cannot fathom. And so my heart was breaking for you. And I just went into we got to fix this mode because I was like, we're finding this damn dog. We are not leaving the city of Houston without finding this dog. Apparently, there were like drones that you can do that pick up the heat temperature of dogs. So I was like, get the drones, call the Congress, call Wakanda, get them Dora Milaje, get everyone on the phone. Would not rest until we found him. So I'm just so happy that he's okay, that you are reunited with your baby boy, and that you can have a great rest of 2024. Because, oh my, I hope you know how blessed you are to have gotten back because the odds were scary.
and what you just said is really important for all the people out there who are scammers and who are duplicitous. There are people who are kind and put lovely messages on the Facebook post, tips on how to get him back, tips on how to avoid scams. And so there are also really good people out there. I did not feel like I was my best self. I apologize to you for snapping at times, but I also am really grateful to you for all that you did to help find him and comfort me and just take the reins because I was fucking losing it.
You were.
I really felt like I was in the middle of some terrible movie where I'm just like, hey. I also feel like it helped bring our sisters closer together, and I'm grateful for that too.
Me too. There is a silver lining in it, and I'm happy it had a happy ending.
Yeah. Um, the other thing we did was you finally watched Back to the Future.
I watched Back to the Future, and I gotta say that movie it holds up. I gotta say the fashion, the coolness, the fly factor, it was really dope. I liked it, and also as a marketing girly, I just could not stop realizing how much product placement was in that movie. J.C. Penney had like 30 minutes of airtime. Reebok, Nikes. Okay, baby, he was wearing them Nike shoes, honey. The product placement was there. And I thought it was really, really beautiful that they went back to 1955 because that's our mother's birth year. And so it was very nostalgic for me. I love seeing that. I was like, oh,
Make a
mom.
connection. Wow.
Yeah, I know. And so when they went back to 1955, I was like, oh my gosh, it's our mom's birth year. And I was like, oh, I wonder what she was doing during this time in 1954. I was like, oh, she was getting ready for her 30th birthday. Also, ew, his mom was hitting. That was the only cringe thing to me is that his mom was hitting on him. I was like, ugh, gross. Like, I was like, imagine going back in time and your mother hits on you. Like, there's nothing more cringe.
I cannot. Oh,
But other than that, that was really, really, really good movie. And apparently, I have to watch the second one. Apparently, that's where it's at. So,
yeah. But I'm really glad you liked it because it doesn't always go well. You watch movies that came out 30 plus years ago.
exactly. That's why I was saying it holds up well because I was low worries because I didn't see any like, or maybe I missed it like problematic jokes or sexism, ages. I mean, I'm sure there's nuances of it in there, of course, especially when it comes to like the scene with like the older guy, the bully. Yeah, being a jerk, but that's most jerks. So no surprise there. But yeah, I thought it was really, really good.
Were there any like pop culture sayings that you heard in the movie that now make sense? Like, oh, that's where that came from. Or just references, if not. I mean,
I'm trying to think. I don't recall. I'm sure there were, but no, unless you have some that you can speak to.
obviously like I watched this movie shortly after it came out, but I like why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? Because Biff says that. And hello, McFly, hello. No.
Oh, yeah, McFly. That's the coolest last name. McFly. It don't get cooler than that.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. And I look forward to you watching part two.
Me too. Stay tuned.
All right. Well, why don't we get into Today I Learned?
All right, all right. I'm up first for Today I Learned. And my Today I Learned is crazy. Did you know that your brain is constantly eating itself?
I don't understand what that means.
So basically, there is this process called phagocytosis, where cells envelop and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from the system. But not to fret, phagocytosis isn't harmful, but actually helps preserve your gray matter. So your brain is actually cleansing itself and eating itself on a consistent basis.
Hold up. How is this different from what we talked about when you brought up brainwashing? Like, you were telling us that the brain washes itself. Is this the same thing? And now you just take my
No,
word for it?
no, I think maybe this isn't washing. This is eating. There's a difference. Okay. Your brain's eating itself now
Why do you know this?
because I'm just very fascinated with the brain, obviously. And I just think it's just so interesting how the brain functions. Like you could literally be brain dead. You could literally have half your brain. No, you can't. It's just so insane how the brain works. And it's just also such a fascinating shaped thing. Like, why does the brain look like that? Why does it look like jumbled up intestines? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like the brain?
still, are you just like Googling, is my brain eating itself? I feel like
No.
there's something going on in there.
More so as someone who suffers from mental health disorder. I want to know how the hell every facet of the brain. How is it working? Is this why my brain likes to do this? Because it's eating itself? So as someone who is always in her head, I like to know what's going on in there. That's why.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes. So I'm just like very fascinated with the brain. And I come across random facts all the time. It like haters to me on social. It's like, did you know that the brain eats itself? I was like, what? Is this why I have severe depression? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. We love to know fun facts.
But
So,
wait. You said it helps preserve the gray matter. So, like, if it didn't do this, then
oh, it's going to get gunked up. It's giving brain fog. It's giving you can't think. It's giving your mind is literally blank. Like you're just complete, like that brain fog is on another level. Because the more gray matter that builds up, the more that you could get congestion in your brain.
okay,
So
well,
make sure that you are eating brain food. So eating your nuts, your fiber, your electrolytes, eating your nuts and eating you're 12. You're 12 years old. So eating all kinds of omega-3 oils. Oh my gosh, make sure that you are feeding your brain. So in order to continue to have healthy brains, make sure you're eating brain healthy food. I am a huge advocate for making sure that your brain is in its optimal shape as possible.
and that has been your health minute with Cross Gen Sisters.
Ta-da! What's yours, sis? What's yours?
So, great news out of the continent of Africa, because it is a continent and not a country. The country of Namibia recently elected its first female president. Imagine that.
Bow, bow, bow.
Congrats to Namibia. And her name is, and please forgive me in advance, madam, if I don't say your name properly. I'm doing my best. So their new president is Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa. And because I was curious, was wondering how many countries have elected a female president in history. And of the 193 countries recognized by the United Nations, a third have elected a female president.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm not surprised to think about the way that they view women and the way that they view kind of like independence and leadership and things of that nature. I know it's too fresh and too soon, but look at what we just experienced with our election. So I also want to tip my hat to these countries for just being aware of the capabilities of women and how they can be dope ass leaders. We need to take a page out of their book and be like, yeah, women can lead. Okay, thank you.
Do you think that a third of 193 countries sounds high, low? Are you surprised?
I am surprised because I thought it'd be less.
But that's in history. So 13 out of 193 countries currently have.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. But hey, they're doing better than we are. So,
Yeah. So in case you missed my sweatshirt.
oh my gosh. It says Madam President for those listening.
Thank you. I really love this segment because it makes me pay attention to things that I learn and also the random things that you learn because I would not have known that my brain is eating itself.
Mhm.
Thanks for that.
You're so welcome.
All right. Pop and Gen time.
All right. Time for Pop and Jen. So I think we should start off by congratulating those who were just nominated for Golden Globes. Congratulations. My faves, for sure. I had to, my personal faves, Zendaya and Coleman Domingo. She is nominated for Best Actress for Challengers. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. I mean, the list is insane. You have Morris Chestnut, Mindy Kaling.
Well, they announced it. They were the two that were up early in the morning who announced the awards. And it's actually really cool.
I literally was going to say that, and you interrupted me. Yeah. So as I was saying, Morris Chestnut and Mindy Kaling announced it, and first of all, I was like, "Look at these two hot people come together, unexpected duo," you know. So having them announce was really, really cute, and also two people who,
You know, it just occurred to me, and maybe this is nothing, just coincidence. Black man, Indian woman are could have been president as a product of a Black man and an Indian woman. I wonder if they chose him on purpose.
I doubt that was the thinking that went into it, but yeah, they were thinking about Kamala Harris when they flipped. But great catch there. And Jamie Foxx Netflix special, What Had Happened Was, which I have yet to see, which I'm gonna see soon. Wicked was nominated for Best Picture. I am very happy for Cynthia Erivo. I think that this is a good list of people, and I hope that they win. In the words of Issa Rae, I'm rooting for everybody Black.
But what about your show? Did you completely the show that you've been gushing about for the past few episodes on Netflix,
Nobody Wants This? Yeah,
nominated for Best Series?
because they understand excellence when they see it. So thank you for bringing that up. Nobody Wants This was nominated, and I'm so it's so good. Y'all gotta watch it.
Okay,
So shout out to Nobody Wants This.
it's the reaction I was looking for. I have 3 episodes left. So when I finish, I'll talk.
Perfect, because they got picked up for a second season, so they're gonna come with more heat. So yes, shout out to them. The Golden Globe nominated. Nobody Wants This.
Yeah. Well, shall we talk about the end of an era?
I guess.
So for my Vanderpump girlies and boilies out there, I'm sure you've heard by now that the show as we know it is ending. So they're going to be keeping the same show, same name, and replacing the cast with all new people. Why? Who asked for this?
Who?
They could have done, they had so many options. One, what I would have loved to see, and I know a lot of people would love to see, is just drop the fourth wall. This is now a show about people who used to be servers and are now reality stars and dealing with all that comes with it. Like, I want to see that show. That show does not currently exist. And I feel like that's just a missed opportunity for Bravo, but whatever. So they're going to pump out another show for Lisa Vanderpump to prop up this restaurant that, from what I hear, needs to be like refurbished and probably have the menu revamped. But hey, I'm not the highly paid Bravo executives. The other thing that came out of Vanderpump Rules this week is James Kennedy was arrested for domestic violence, and not sure what the update is on that yet because it literally just happened like 2 days ago. But I just, in the words of Tyra Banks, I was rooting for you. We were rooting for you.
Were you rooting for him?
Yeah, because he had an anger problem when he first joined the show. He had a drinking problem. And then he got sober and he seemed to calm down. He was with a new woman and she told him, like, if you start drinking again, I'm not going to be with you because it makes you a jerk. And he just, I mean, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but it just seemed like he had done the work to become a better person. And you want to believe that people can change for the better. So yeah, I was rooting for him. Because I also think his girlfriend seems really sweet. So it's disappointing. Also, like, he has a up and coming DJ career. He's getting like really good gigs, residencies in Vegas, and like, you're just going to throw this all away so you can get drunk and beat people? I mean, I don't know what happened. So everything is alleged, but ugh, talk about a waste.
I'm not really surprised by this because just based off of what I saw on the show, from what I did watch whenever I would be forced to watch it because you had it on television, I think that he had all the signs of anger issues, like the way that he can just explode on the drop of a hat, like over the most minor things. It seemed like he could just easily just kind of blow up. And so I'm not surprised to hear this, but it's unfortunate, especially at this place he is in his life and his career. You'd think he'd know better. You just have too much to lose at this point. You're not at season 1 unknown James Kennedy. You're this highly, you know, sought after DJ and reality star on an Emmy nominated show. So get your shit together. He knows better, needs to do better. And I just don't have sympathy for him because it's like you talked about Sandoval and the way that he was treating women. How about you take a look in the mirror? And so he has some growing to do and he needs to get into therapy if he's not already. And I hope that the young lady who was affected by this is okay and she's protected and she's in a safe environment.
Yeah, same thing I said. Uh, Hard to segue out of that. But one thing I will say is another thing that's disappointing is I'm tired of people. It's hard to be a fan of anyone because it's like they just want to jump out the closet with their terribleness.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to reevaluate how you relate to whatever it is that they created or produced or were part of. Do you still listen to their music? Do you still watch the show? Is it going to be hard for you to watch the show because you can't stop thinking about what they did? Can people just stop being terrible? It's just too much to ask. And for myself, I'm trying to be better about seeing people more as full humans and not expecting perfection.
Yeah,
It's just going to mess up.
And to take them off the perpetual pedestal that you might have them on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be a thing where someone says the wrong word and all of a sudden it's like, still, their career needs to be destroyed. Like, come on.
Yeah, like
That's my friend.
no, and I don't think James Kennedy should be canceled or destroyed. I just think he needs to learn from this and be a better person.
I don't mean him in particular. I just mean like in general.
I know what you mean in general, but I'm just using him as an example because we just talked about him. But I think that it depends on the degree of what that person did and their transgression. If we're talking about some Diddy type stuff, oh, we're gonna have to have conversations.
Oh,
However,
it's
it's lights out. Like so, I think is this person redeemable? It just depends on what they did. I was just watching Wicked and seeing how people were getting on Cynthia and Ariana for crying in every single interview. They're like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? I was like, guys, let's focus on the thing at hand. Let's focus on the fact that these two talented people are promoting this beautiful film. And so people are just like, oh, are they okay? They're so emotional. It's like not correlating exactly with what we're talking about, but how people can just like at the drop of a hat change the group think and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to think of this person this way. That's another factor of a group think. That's one of the things that I think about is how collectively people can turn on someone so quickly without having the proper information, without having the proper context. It's like do your own research and education before you just jump to conclusions, especially when it comes to someone's literal livelihood and who they are, because you can have the incorrect information.
And learn to do actual research. Research isn't just Googling, did such and such beat their kids? And then choosing the first result and saying, okay, I've done my research. No, learn to actually use the internet properly. Because the first link is just what Google says most people want to see. That doesn't mean that's right. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. On to other topics. The Talk is ending. I know that's not like your show. You say you watched it because I watched it or mom watched it. But this last iteration of hosts or this last group of hosts really enjoyable. It's refreshing to have a mixed gender panel. They're sharing their opinions, they're having fun. And it doesn't get too much into the men do this and women do that. And it's just, I can't stand that. Like, they'll do it in like good natured, like teasing, but it really just is about having a good time and entertaining people who are working from home and need a break or are homemakers, whatever. But in particular, I want to give a shout out to Jerry O'Connell because he is one of the hosts for the past few years. And I've been a fan of Jerry O'Connell since I was probably in junior high. And he was in My Secret Identity. And it was a science fiction show that I think was on like one of those random channels where, and it's so fitting that you have this old school TV because I think I was literally watching it on that kind of TV and I had to like turn to the dial and we had like 5 channel options. But anyway, it was a good show. And then I watched him through Sliders and watched his career evolve. And he was in Jerry Maguire. And now he's done Broadway. And what I love is he seems so humble and appreciative for what he has and is careful not to lose it, not to take it for granted. Oh, I don't want to say too many good things about him. And then next week it turns out that he is.
I know.
but it seems like he's a stand-up guy, and I just appreciate the work that he's done. I thank him for his contribution to entertainment and my cultural entertainment history. And kudos to Jerry O'Connell.
Kudos to Jerry O'Connell. He is a great guy. Don't know him personally, but I've heard nothing but great things about him. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an end of an era. I watched it when mom watched it because I really, really no shade to the host now, but that moderation era of Julie Chen, oh my gosh, that was a time. I don't know. I just thought she was fantastic as a moderator, and I loved when it was her, Aisha Tyler, Cheryl Underwood. When it was just like those people, Aisha was fantastic. So that's how I was introduced to it. As someone who's been to the show 3 times to go do a live taping, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I will say The View has a better audience experience, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, I wish them well. I'm happy for all of them. And my favorite is Jerry O'Connell, same, because he makes the show enjoyable. He's just always a fun time. I feel like if you're having a shitty day, what a great person to tune in and watch. But also, like as a coworker, as a team member, he seems like he just is a delight. So I wish him nothing but the best, and wish the rest of them nothing but the best. Especially Cheryl Underwood. She's been there since day one.
Yeah, I
She's,
definitely want to give Cheryl her props for being a day oneer and holding it down for the show through all the changes.
All of the changes. I'm sure she's tired. She's like, let me go take a nap because what? But I do hope she's able to land on her feet and get another long, stable job because she deserves it.
Fine, because she's been I've given this some thought about what's next for all the hosts because I think that most of them are set up for success. Like Cheryl's been developing a comedy lineup. So she has stand-ups and she travels across the country with a group of other comics that she's been putting on. And it's like a comic review. And I see that being more of her thing going forward is doing more stand-up because she clearly enjoys it and supporting and elevating other comics and maybe some acting. I see Natalie Morales is going to be doing her 48 hours CBS News contributor stuff and just living her best life. Akbar has hosting for what's that?
Ninja Warriors.
Yeah. And then he does NFL stuff. He's good. Amanda's probably going to do acting, fitness influencing, and maybe she'll dance again.
We're going to see her in all the Hallmark movies.
Exactly.
They're going to be in all the Hallmark movies, honey. All of them.
And I feel like the sky's the limits for Jerry. He still already has Pictionary. I think he has another job. Like, the man will be fine.
Yeah. Good for them. Good for them.
Farewell to the top. Why don't we get into deep dives? We have a special winter holiday themed topic.
All right. Welcome back. It's time for deep dive. So it's that time of the year. I think it's appropriate that we share our favorite holiday films or films we happily watch every holiday season. So first up, I would like to give special shout out to The Preacher's Wife. The Preacher's Wife is a holiday film that has forever moved me. Mom introduced it to me when I was young. And growing up in the church, it was very fitting. It was very familiar. It was very relatable. The performance of Whitney Houston and Denzel Washington in this movie is unmatched. The soundtrack is fantastic. I listened to the soundtrack on a random June day in the summer. It's timeless. It is the epitome of Christmas to me. There is a scene where Denzel Washington is buying hot cocoa with Whitney Houston, and their chemistry is just so palpable. It's just such a beautiful film. Courtney B. Vance stars in it. Jennifer Lewis plays the mom. One thing about Jennifer Lewis, she's gonna play somebody's mother, okay? It's just so profound. It just is the perfect holiday movie. Help is on the way. I love it. And then when she goes, joy, 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 joy to the world. Like that soundtrack is unmatched. I love it so much. Fun fact, Cissy Houston, rest her soul, has a cameo in the movie where she is critiquing Whitney Houston's conducting of the choir, and she has notes, and Whitney Houston goes, okay, well, I'm going to do it my way. So she redoes it, and she goes, is that okay with you? And Cissy Houston goes, yes, that works. And so it was just a really cute mother-daughter moment to see in the film. It's like a little fun little Easter eggs in there, that film. So that's my first and favorite all-time Christmas movie, Preacher's Wife. Up next, taking a little bit of a pivot, have to give a shout out to the Santa Claus. You have this like super dope, fun movie. Tim Allen, it screams Christmas time is here whenever I watch that movie. And just the plot, the elves wanting some hot chocolate. I just like whenever I drink hot chocolate, I think of that movie. It's just so nostalgic. I love it. I wanted to be one of Santa's little helpers so bad. It came out when I was young, so it was just very fitting. I love that movie. Then, last but not least, I have to give it to Home Alone to Lost in New York because, come on, one thing about Calvin, he was going to be mischievous. Okay. He was going to be up for mischief.
Is this the Black Home Alone? You said Calvin.
Kevin. Oh my goodness. I said his name wrong. His name wasn't Calvin.
Calvin.
Calvin. Who is Calvin?
Regina King's boyfriend at 227. I don't know what.
Calvin. Why am I getting Kevin? My bad, Kevin. I didn't call it. I didn't make you black. Kevin was so good. I love to see what the pigeons in the park. So iconic. Running around New York. The iconic eating the pizza in the limo. I'm like, I want to do that before I leave this earth. I want to eat a large pizza in a limo in honor of Kevin. Uh, McAllister. Kevin McAllister, right?
Yes.
Yes, I got it right. I didn't even Google it, y'all. Kevin McAllister. Okay, yeah, I literally love that movie. Like, there's just certain songs and sounds that correlate to that movie. It screams, it's a classic. It's a classic. And I have to give an honorable mention to a movie that you are creeped out by. It is one of my favorites. It is The Polar Express. Do you want to explain why you don't like that movie?
The animation creeps me out. I can't do it. I love Tom Hanks as an actor, but ooh, okay.
Yeah. So that's my list.
We had this discussion about the Home Alones and which one was better. And I had advocated for the first one, and you were like, no, the second one's better. And I had only seen it maybe twice since it came out. So we watched it last year, and it really was good. I forgot about it. I enjoyed it. Although I did see someone on Thread say that it was messed up that Kevin went all the way back to the woman in the park with the birds, and instead of giving her food, he gave her this stupid little trinket.
I agree. He was like, who cares if you're malnourished? Here's a trinket. I said, wow, he could have got her that box of pizza.
It's like, yeah, I guess that kind of ruins that sweet moment.
Damn. So
It's still a good movie.
it's so good.
Calvin McAllister.
Calvin McAllister. Yeah, what are your faves, sis? What are your favorite Christmas flicks?
My first one is Scrooge with Bill Murray. And it's another take on A Christmas Carol with the Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. And Bill Murray just plays the best curmudgeonly, jerky guy who you want to see get redemption. So I love that one. I will happily watch it any time of year, honestly. And also, Alfre Woodard is in it. She's wonderful. Carol Kane is in it. She plays a fantastic Ghost of Christmas Past. So I love that one. I also love Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. So inappropriate, but hilarious. You want to tell us about your experience watching this with me for the first time?
Keisha made me watch this. Was it last year or the year before? I don't know. One of these years. It's one of the past 2 years. I don't remember. But anyway, you kept talking about this movie. I'd never seen it. And that movie does not age well. The problematic stuff that they talk about. Oh my gosh. I was shook. I could not believe that you would consider that a Christmas movie.
It takes place during the holidays. There are Christmas trees and twinkly lights everywhere.
Well, you know what? To each their own. I was just shocked with all of the dramatic script that was bestowed upon us. I was like, oh my gosh. So that was a wild ride.
Response when one of the older white brothers said the N-word, and you said, he said what, the hard ER? It's like, yeah, it's the 80s. I also realized I hadn't watched the movie lately when it wasn't censored. So I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was something. That was something for sure.
Then my last one is The Family Stone, because I
Uh,
love a good white family drama, and Sarah Jessica Parker is the lead, along with the beautiful Luke Wilson, and that family is dysfunctional AF, and I love every minute of it. I might watch that movie this weekend.
that's a good choice. I like that movie a lot. Really good. Yeah, good choices, sister. Woo! That was really a deep dive. Well, let's switch it up with on our screens and through our earbuds.
For this week, I just wanted to talk about the Ruby Franke story. That is the Mormon mom influencer who was eventually convicted of abusing her children. Oh my goodness, that woman. I didn't pay attention to this story when it was like unfolding. I just watched the Lifetime movie and the documentary recently. And what in the craziness? I know you're aware of the story. What do you think?
I listened to the Ruby Frank podcast that does like the in-depth analysis of it. And this woman is sick. This woman is sick. I highly recommend you guys listen to that. I think it's by Dateline. It's either Dateline or 2020. Actually, I think it's 2020. They talk about how she would literally deprive them of food, deprive them of clothes, deprive them of just basic human needs, and this blame on the other woman. Of course, this other woman is at fault. I forgot her name. Don't care. The other woman who's complicit.
Yeah, the therapist.
Yeah, therapist. She's trying to put the blame on her. No, you need to be held accountable. She is disgusting. The things that she did to her children are reprehensible. And I'm sorry, the dad does not get a pass to me. How are you not aware of this? How are you not fighting for your children? How are you not doing a better job? Like the fact that he had no idea, he claims, I don't know, something's fishy about that.
I don't buy it either because what we saw happen once they separated seemed like an escalation of previous behavior. They were
Exactly.
together when she didn't bring her daughter lunch to school because her daughter forgot her lunch, her 6-year-old daughter, and she wanted to teach her a lesson. Was she even 6? I think she was even younger than that.
She was like 4, yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to teach her a lesson. So ugh, they were together when that was happening, I'm pretty sure. And when they had their older son sleeping on the floor or in a beanbag for several months because he said something like he teased his younger brother. Like, who does that?
Who does that? Yeah, it's disgusting. It's despicable. She should not have any rights to her children. They should never, ever be in her custody again. So I pray for the children and I hope they're okay.
Yeah, me too. What are you watching?
Well, I'm watching my tried and true Abbott Elementary. I love Abbott Elementary as someone who has had 2 background appearances on the show. Actually, 3 background appearances on the show. I just love the set. I love the crew. I love Quinta. I love everything about the show. It's hilarious. The cast is fantastic. And it's just a comfort show for me. And this season, just every season gets better and better. This season is just so good. There was an episode where Janine got her boo a matching Christmas PJ set. And I was like, I can't wait to wear that with my boo, a matching Christmas PJ set. I don't know. It's just levity in a world that has stuff coming at you all the time. Turn on Abbott Elementary. You know you're going to get a laugh. You know you're going to be zoned out for that 30 minutes and focus on it and just be plugged in. Shirley Ralph plays a fantastic Miss Howard. The entire cast is just so good. They were nominated for Golden Globes as well. Shout out to them. Forgot to mention them earlier. Quinta was nominated for Best Actress. The show was nominated for Best Comedy Series. It is just brilliant. Hope they win. Kudos to Abbott Elementary, the show that keeps on giving and making us smile. And shout out to Zach Fox's fine ass. I know he just got married, but he is quite the
Is he
looker.
um
He plays Janine's ex-boyfriend, Tariq.
oh right. The rapper.
The rapper, yep.
That's funny.
Alrighty, now for through our earbuds, what have you been listening to, sis?
I've been listening to Kendrick Lamar because that album, yeah, it's as good as everyone says it is. I love the song with SZA, Luther.
Mm-hmm.
I could listen to that all day. I was listening to it before a meeting, and I was like mad that the meeting was going to start and cut into my listening and dancing time. Like, how rude.
How rude. How disrespectful. Yeah, that song is fantastic. I love that song. It's so good. SZA was the perfect addition for that song.
Yeah. I saw a thread last night from I guess she identifies as a lesbian. She said that basically she found herself having an intimate dream about Kendrick the night before. And she said something like, "What kind of voodoo is this that he put on me? This is unacceptable. I haven't slept with a man in 10 years and I'm not going to start now."
Not gonna start now. That's hilarious.
It was funny.
I love
Can't
that.
What about you?
I too have been listening to GNX. Luther is a favorite of mine, as well as Squabble Up. Squabble Up. Squabble Up. Hey, Squabble Up. Hits the two-step one time. But I am still in my Sabrina Carpenter bag. Girl, that album has me in a chokehold. It still does. Love it. Can't get enough of it. And her new Christmas special that she has on Netflix. So good. Nonsense Christmas. It's really, really good. So
And
highly recommend that. Quinta is also in that, yes. Miss Hollywood superstar herself. What else? I'm also listening to the new Kehlani and Glorilla song, A Christmas Time or Xmas Time. It just came out, so highly recommend it. It's a cute little bop. And also listening to this new artist I just discovered named, sorry for messing up your name, Sasha Cable, Keable. She's this British Colombian R&B singer. She's fantastic. Highly recommend listening to her.
British as in British Columbia, Canada, or
No, she is Colombian. She is a Colombian who is from UK.
in the UK. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She is very, very talented. So that is what I have been listening to.
Every time I hear Glorilla now, I think, let it cook.
Yes, let it cook. Yeah, or ooh, ooh, ooh. Love her.
Yes.
Well, y'all, it's that time again. Time to say so long, farewell. We'll be back in 2 weeks. If you want to be notified about new episodes, see our recommendations, and other fun stuff, follow us on Instagram at CrossGenSisters. You can also email us at crossgensisters@gmail.com. And if you like the podcast, please help us grow it by following, rating, and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, tell your sisters, your teachers, brothers, friends, cousins, your work besties, your mailman, and other loved ones about us. Thanks for listening. Bye, y'all. Love you, sis.
Love you, sis.